name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. As some of you know, this is primarily a dance channel. However, since I'm going to be presented with a very cool opportunity of studying abroad for multiple years, I do want to also make some lifestyle type videos about my experience while I'm living in Korea. I'm going to be studying at George Mason, Korea, which is in Seongdo, Incheon in South Korea, and I will be studying there for 2 to 3 years. Now, a little bit about my university before we talk about anything else, the visa process, what's going on. It is an American university that does regular 4-year programs. So just like you would do in the States, you are trying to get your bachelor's degree and you will be taking the same classes that you would be taking if you were at their normal Fairfax campus. And you would study there for about 3 years in Korea, and then you were required to take at least 2 semesters at the Fairfax campus, which is right outside DC in Virginia. And that is because a lot of the higher electives for a lot of the majors are only taught at the Fairfax campus. So you have to go over there and make sure that you take those. And it offers a really cool experience because you get to be both in Korea and in Fairfax, which are both really good places for career opportunities. And the reason that I decided to go this route is because I knew I wanted to study abroad, but I thought that like a semester or a year felt like a very short amount of time, especially for me, whenever I wanted to make sure that I became fluent in the language by the time I came back. So whenever I found an opportunity where I can not only stay there for longer, but also receive an American degree, that was really good. Because if you get a degree from somewhere else, say at another Korean school, it's really hard to compare that if you're going to look for a job in America. And so that's why I decided to go with this specific program, specific university. Moving on to the visa process, in order to study abroad in Korea, you need to have a visa. If you're visiting Korea for longer than 3 months or 90 days, you need a visa, but it depends on how long you're going to be staying and what the purpose of your stay is for what visa you need. Since I'm studying abroad for a longer period of time, the visa that I need is called a D22 visa. So that's the visa I'm going to be talking about in particular in this video. And I'm going to get my handy dandy computer over here because it has more information about exactly how to get this visa. So first of all, the D22 visa is a single entry visa, which means that if you want to enter the country again after you have gotten the visa and then come back, you need to apply for re-entry. So this is only for one-time entry into Korea. So the first thing you need to do if you're applying for your visa is first to find out what visa you are need to be applying for. Which you can do by going to the website of your particular consulate. Depending on where you live, there will be a consulate that is under, you'll be under their jurisdiction for South Korea. So just look up South Korea consulate, put in your zip code, and they'll tell you what consulate you're under. Personally, I am under Atlanta, so you need to find that. And since I do not live that close to Atlanta, but it is the closest consulate to me, in order to get my visa application in, I actually had to mail it. And so I went on their website and went under mailing. So the things that you need for your visa issuance, number 1 is you need a visa application form, which can be found on your consulate website. Just look up visa application form and then print that out, fill it out, and then you can take pictures of those if you're doing it online, or if you're mailing it in like I am, you just fill them out and then you can mail them in. And I know that filling out the visa application form in particular is really complicated sometimes because they ask questions that you don't know how to answer. And what I recommend for that is just looking up visa application form example, and it will have something that's like filled out for you, like an example answer, and that's what I used in order to do it. The second thing that you need is your passport. So if you don't have a passport, then that's a whole different like problem that you need to get solved first, but you're gonna need your passport. The third thing you need is a passport size photo. So usually whenever you go get your picture taken for your passport, they give you a little passport size photo. Now, whenever I got mine done, they gave us 2 separate photos. So one I used for my passport and one I used for my visa application. But you could also just like go get another one done, and it just needs to be on a white background and it needs to be a certain size because you need to put that on your visa application form. The fourth thing you need is your certificate of admission, and this is given to you by your school. In particular, my school had something you had to fill out on like the website that we use to fill out forms for our school, and you just have to show that you have financial standing where you can pay your tuition, and also that you are admitted to the school so that they can give you a visa for going to school. And then your school itself will send it to you. So if you're having a problem with that, I would email whoever is in charge of international students for your school. Number 5, you need proof of financial standing, basically proof that you can pay your tuition. So what you can use for that, like we use bank statements, just to show that you have enough money both to travel to Korea and also to pay for your tuition. And if you go to the website for your consulate, it'll also give an example of what you can do for proof of financial standing. Number 6, you need a document indicating your final level of education. Now, I think there's 2 different ways you can do that. I think the easiest way, in my opinion, is to get an official transcript from your school. So if you go on your like high school website and go to transcripts, or if you go to whatever your county public school is, you just order an official transcript and that would be fine. Or you can take your degree for your high school, but then you have to get an apostille on it. So I feel like that's harder to do because then you have to go through the whole apostille process. I don't really know how it works for homeschooled people, but for those who are in the public schools, I recommend doing official transcript. Number 7, you need a fee. So since you're paying someone to look over all of this stuff for you, need a fee, and for US citizens it's $45. Last thing, number 8, you need a return envelope if you're sending it by mail, because you're sending in your passport, which is a very important document. So if you're not going to go there in person and do it yourself, give them your documents yourself and they give it back to you, you have to send in your passport, which is why the return envelope must be tracked. So you have to send priority mail, and then you can ask the people at your UPS or your FedEx or wherever you mail how to do that, but you need a priority mailer so that it has a tracking number so that they make sure that your passport does not get stolen or lost. So this can be submitted by mail or in person. As I said, I had to submit it in mail because my consulate was so far away. I wasn't about to drive 8 hours to do this. But if there is one close to you in person, I think it is easier and it might go faster because you don't have to wait for the mailing times. You wait about 2 weeks for your visa to be issued, but I'm sure it depends a lot on, your consulate. And you can either pick up your visa or it can be sent back by mail. And your visa will be attached to your passport, because my consulate in particular, I don't know about other ones, but they don't do the stamped visa anymore. They just have a paper visa, which they staple to your passport. And then they also, if you send it by mail, send you a link to your email where you can print out a visa. So I printed out extra copies of it just in case. So that is all. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you gained some more insight both on maybe my program and how to get your visa. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. And I would definitely try and contact your consulate or maybe even your school, because a lot of times the school has someone who helps you through this process. And I do plan on the future doing videos like showing around my dorm, showing around Songdo, showing around just the college in general, and maybe even some vlogs out in other parts of Korea. So make sure to look forward to that. Bye bye.